Hey, everybody! It's Joshua Carroll here, and today I'm going to be telling you the story of the RMS Boston, 1922 to 1936. Here's the story. The story began when the RMS Boston was under construction, or started construction, in 1915. She was launched in 1921, completed in 1922. Her length was 267 meters. She had 8 decks, and her tonnage was 46,340 tons. And her speed was 23 knots. Well, as you know, the RMS Boston was owned by the Yellow Star Line, and also the RMS Boston was also one of the most popular ocean liners owned by the Yellow Star Line. And also, there's noise in the background. So, the RMS Boston had 879 crew members in total. She had her maiden voyage on June 5, 1922. On her maiden voyage, her interior... Well, wait 1 second. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm about to tell you the interior of the RMS Boston. Well, for those of you who don't know, the definition of interior is inside. Let's say, for example, an interior of a house, meaning what's inside the house. So anyway, I hope you keep that advice fresh in mind. Anyways, so the interior of the RMS Boston is that the RMS Boston had a grand staircase, a luxury staircase, some beautiful cabins for all 3 classes. And there was even a mall. There was even a mall. Well, not the malls that we use today. Like when I went to Walgreens one time, I saw a poster that said since 1901. That means Walgreens exists since 1901. So the interior of the mall inside the RMS Boston was just like in Walgreens. Literally, like with electricity, yeah. Anyways, then there's even a beautiful dining room for all classes. Yeah. And I believe that's all I could think of in the interior. Yeah, there's also a glass dome. There's also a room with a fireplace with a dome on top, and there's even a lounge at the stern of the ship. Anyways, so the RMS Boston had a sister ship that was named the RMS Denver. The RMS Denver was also built in 1922, but the RMS Denver may be a little shorter than RMS Boston. Or like the length and size, RMS Boston is a little bit longer than RMS Denver. And usually they have the same height. They do have the same interior. Well, also, I never told you this for all the other ship stories I told you. So the lifeboats on board of the RMS Boston. The RMS Boston RMS Boston had an exact total of 30 lifeboats on the entire ship. Yeah, I get it. There's noise in the background. There's noise in the background right now. So anyway, the RMS Boston was the RMS Boston was actually one of the largest ocean liners owned by the Yellow Star Line. Also, keep this in mind. It's actually the Yellow Star Line, not the Green Star Line. So just keep that fresh in mind. Okay. Anyways, so the next part of the story is her mid-ages. So the RMS Boston and the RMS Denver did meet sometimes. Well, the RMS Denver's maiden voyage was on June 7th. No. The RMS Denver's maiden voyage was on June 8th, 1922. When the RMS Boston's, I already told you, was on June 5th. So June 5 and June 8, that's 3 days between. Anyways, and like I said, the RMS Denver's interior is like RMS Boston's. Anyway, let's get real here. So during the mid-ages of the two sister ships, RMS Boston and RMS Denver, so the RMS Boston, one time RMS Boston did serve in the war, in World War. No, RMS Boston didn't do that. Anyways, well, actually, RMS Boston didn't even serve in any wars. And like I was telling you, because RMS Boston was built in 1922. World War I lasted from 1915 to 1917. That's literally almost about 3 years. And World War II lasted from 1941 to 1948. Or maybe earlier. Well, literally, how I got it because you know the story of the USS Arizona, right? She sank at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941 by a Japanese warplane. But also, did you know that on December 8th, 1941, the day after USS Arizona sank, the United States entered World War II? Anyways, but the RMS Boston lived from 1922 to 1936. So that was literally no idea. Anyways, and now we're going to talk about the late ages of the RMS Boston, or the late years, the years before her fate. Well, yeah, the RMS Boston was the RMS Boston's crew was 879, and also, the RMS Boston, I forgot to tell you. So the RMS Boston had 8 decks. 8 decks in total, from the boat deck to the orlop deck. And again, her crew was 879, and also from 1922, the RMS Boston lived from 1922 to 1936. So the RMS Boston was in service for 14 years. Anyways, the RMS Boston and the RMS Denver, well, literally, I want to tell you that RMS Boston lived longer than RMS Denver. RMS Denver lived from 1922 to 1934. That's 2 years ahead. Well, for those of you who know, it wasn't long until disaster struck. on May 7th, no, wait, no, on July 8th, wait, no, so literally disaster actually struck. So on July 6th, 1936, the RMS Boston was happily sailing from Southampton to New York City when she struck a rock, like a small rock, and then a smaller rock than the RMS Cordia, and little did you know the rock was sharp, that it poured a hole, that it just put a hole inside the RMS Boston, and the RMS Boston literally started sinking. On the day of the sinking, the RMS Boston had 2,100. Wait a minute. I don't remember how many passengers there were on the RMS Boston, but tell me in the comments. So just look up the video Sinking of RMS Boston and you'll tell me. So anyways, so the RMS Boston it took exactly half an hour or 30 minutes for the entire RMS Boston, for the entire 267-meter RMS Boston to sink into the depths of the North Atlantic Ocean. The RMS Boston sank right off the east coast of off the east coast of Bermuda. For those of you who don't know, Bermuda is a small territory owned by the United Kingdom. Bermuda is seen in the Atlantic Ocean near the United States of America, where I live. Anyways, and when the RMS Boston sank, the shipwreck of the RMS Boston and her remains are 269 meters deep. I don't know if I got that right, but anyways, and the wreck of the RMS Boston wasn't discovered until 1984. Anyway, so that was the story of the RMS Boston. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to click the like. To be sure to click the like button, subscribe button, and the bell button, so you won't miss any of my new videos. Anyway, I forgot to tell you. So literally most of the people on the RMS Boston did survive the sinking. Yeah, most of the people on the RMS Boston survived. Anyways, and if you're new to this channel, be sure to click the subscribe button and the like button and the bell button, like all the most recent subscribers I have. Anyway, hope to see you next time. Adios.